Welcome to another episode along the long road to Ukraine and beyond. I'm here in Western Ukraine, in Chernivtsi. Another day, another dollar. That's the saying, but I haven't made any dollars yet. It's hryvnia here, that's the local currency. Excuse me sucking a strong mint. I find it helps clear the tubes first thing in the morning. Some more of this nice artwork. People associated with a building because they were born there, lived there, worked there. That's the way they're remembered in this part of Europe. We've got something to do with girl power here, by the look of things. That is girl power, isn't it? Over here, definitely something to do with the literary world. It's a Saturday, which may or may not mean that school's out. And I'm on another walkabout. How are things going at the hostel? Postal, imposter? Yes, I can't wait for Monday morning. Be very glad to leave. The last thing anybody needs in a hospitality business is a toxic receptionist. Yes. Less said about that, the better, probably. Right at the beginning of Olha Koblianska Street are some words I doubt that she came up with herself. I could be wrong. Maybe this is her famous quote. Now your wish is our fish. Something to do with Olha? Maybe. I haven't read any of her works, so it could be a direct quote, and the one most associated with her. Got a few interesting cultural buildings here. Some of the houses dedicated to, such as the German house, which will be coming up. The German legacy, the heritage of the German settlers who were inclined to move here to when it was Bukovina and encouraged to move here. Also, there's a Polish house, but these days it seems to be most popular with people who just like to stroll, forget their worries, just pretend they're on holiday, even though it's not really a holiday for them. It's just a short break, a lunch break, perhaps a weekend. And here you can pretend you're somewhere entirely different as a tourist and just enjoying the fancy cafes, if you can afford the fancy prices. If the prices are fancy. I haven't explored, I must admit, outside the Vandal vape shop. Yeah, not a good advert for vaping, are you? This is what's going to happen to you in the end. This is how it'll all end up. Not a place in a fancy restaurant for you, I'm afraid, is there? Curious. Quite a combination. If you're staying in this hotel and you're not sure what to do, maybe you're fed up of watching TV, you can pop into the cinema, it seems. A hotel and cinema in one complex. And here, Adam Mickiewicz is remembered. This is the Polish house, right. Dom Polski. This is where you can learn about the Polish legacy in this part of the former Bukovina. So it's quite a combination of things. I think, maybe the hotel is set back through that archway. Not that any of the people watching this video are likely to be staying in a upscale hotel. Probably not. I may be doing you a disservice, but if you're like me and a bit of a cheapskate, it's probably a bit beyond our comfort zone, shall we say. There's a library here if you should need a library. And obviously that means that you might need, for example, the internet, or you want to do a bit of research if you're a linguist. Maybe you want to look into a bit more of those Ruthenians and what they got up to in this part of Eastern Europe. The street continues after crossing a road, carefully, because there is some traffic suddenly coming down from the left. We're at the back of a church we saw before, a couple of days ago, with the large statue of the man in the front garden. You may recall it. This is the back of it. Comes straight onto Progrulянка Street. And we've got, I'm guessing, a chimney sweep here. A very tall, thin sweep. And he looks as though he's got the right build for the job, doesn't he? He could just be a road sweep. But I think if you're that tall and that thin, chimneys are beckoning for you as a career move, so just a thought. No idea who the creator is, if it represents a local character perhaps, if it's based on an urban legend of a famous Chernivtsi road sweep. It's all quite possible. But without the information, once again, it's left down to our imaginations. But I like it. We could walk a little bit further, although we've walked most of the street now. So I think I'm going to go down here, walk down a street I haven't walked before. You never know. There could be some hidden gems. Lo and behold, our first glimpse of the Armenian church. Nice looking statue in the ground, so I'd like to go in there if I'm permitted access. Looks like there's more than one statue. Steady, don't want to get too excited, don't want to build my hopes up. It could be a locked gate that I'm confronted with, and then that's my lot. Turning the corner, here's hoping. Another one of the multicultural cities that I find myself visiting. Clearly, with so many different peoples being drawn here, being invited here, being asked to come and help populate the area, to bring their artisanship, their business skills, their trading skills, or just come and settle down and become a part of the new city of Chernivtsi. Or however they were calling it back then. A very morose looking angel, I think you'll agree. A sad tale to be told here, I suspect. But is the church open? Only one way to find out. Let's try the door. Poo. Yes, poo. It's all locked up. I was interested more than usual just to get in there and have a look at the artwork if I could. I had an interest to see how Armenian iconography perhaps had its own distinct style. No, I'm not trying to sound pretentious, even if I am sounding pretentious. But it does, in passing, raise your curiosity levels a little bit. And then it's nice to see in the future whether you can identify, oh yeah, I have seen this before. This must be Armenian because I recognize that particular style. It's just a part of learning, isn't it? Although I forget more than I learn, even if I learn anything. Where am I going next? We've got a few roads to go here. Do they all lead to Rome? Let's see. Wait, my destination isn't Rome, or at least I didn't think it was. Where on earth am I going? Well, the answer to that question, where am I going, it looks like down a leafy lane. Don't mind leafy lanes. And what have we got here? Some fruits. Not yet succulent, I don't think. Well, that's something you don't see every day. Inserted into a much older building. 1919 to 1964. Commemorating somebody who lived in the building, I guess. I do like it. It's very stylized artwork. Nice. It's the gentleman who this street is named after, Jakob von Petrovich. And is that written in Armenian, I wonder, because of the proximity of that Armenian church? Maybe he was Armenian? Some more faded glory on a little side street with the sound of piano and voices in the background coming from a building. We're heading to St Mary's Square. Another one of those moments where you see quite a clash of styles in the architecture. And here in Chernivtsi, in the absence of a love island, lovers have put their padlocks over this bridge. A bridge overlooking St Mary's Square. Oh, mind your knees. I hope your knees are up to this. I hope my knees are up to this. Hang on, walking down steps. Loose steps, if you heard that. Trying to film at the same time. Doesn't this sound like an accident waiting to happen? Don't know what it is about Ukraine, but while they get the ironwork and handrails so perfectly, wonderfully correct, they really can't manage steps. Steps and pavements. At the bottom there's a nice flower clock. I wouldn't like to try to get on top of that bicycle though. Tricycle, I should say. There are 3 wheels on that wagon, but it's no longer rolling along. And that's rather nice because you've got the flower clock in the background as well. If you can see that, or is my hat in the way? Possibly. Looks like we got a bit of a trolley bus graveyard here, with the train station coming up ahead. What a great entrance this would make for a hostel, eh? What do you think? Wish the lighting was better. Nice homage to Klimt. A little secret tucked away art avenue. It's not an art avenue, it's an art alley. An art archway. Nice. This is the post office. So I'm walking in the wrong direction, or I was walking in the wrong direction. Thanks, map. And I'm always whinging. I'm whinging when I haven't got a map, and when I have got a map, I can't read it. So I've got to take blame myself. Although on this occasion, the problem really is that there's a big sudden drop off. You're going down steep hills, and the map can't convey accurately what that means in terms of where the roads are going. Yeah, I was going in the right direction, but they... Okay, now I can blame the map. They put the train station before the post office. And the reality is that the post office is first, then the train station. So I was walking in the right direction all along. So I was wrong to blame the map the first time, but now I can blame the map. Does that make any sense? Why do I keep trying to blame things? Maybe I'm just a blasted blamer. Whew. Onward and downward. Keep walking. Eventually you'll come to the train station. For some reason, at the train station, there's a map which doesn't show the train station. That's what's going on. So the train station is down here somewhere. No wonder I found it a bit tricky to reach. Pięknie. Well, I was just filming inside the train station and a job's worth came over, appeared out of nowhere. You can't film inside the train station. I was filming the ceiling and the window. Utter nonsense. And if I was a taxpayer, I'd be disappointed that my taxes were going on funding a salary for a person to do a pointless job like he's doing. But is that just my logic that doesn't match other people's logic? I'm waiting for him to now rush across. I hope he's careful with the traffic. To tell me I can't film the train station from out here either, which would make more sense under the circumstances. I could apply a logic to that and think to myself, yeah, okay, I understand why you're saying that, even though I'm not recording anything that's not readily available already on the internet. But there we are. Thank goodness there wasn't anything wonderful which I missed in filming. I just thought, make a nice change, an attractive interior of a railway station. But what do I know? Now, how can I move on from here? Where do I even begin?